The South African Federation of Trade Unions has expressed concern over reports that trade union federations represented in NEDLAC's Labour constituency are set to reject the union. Tertius Wessels, who's the legal director at Strategy Labour Solutions, joins us now to discuss that in some detail. Thank you so much for your time today, Tertius. I think let's start with just the rules of who can join NEDLAC and how that actually works.
Well, your guess as to what the rules are is as good as mine.
Wow.
The reality is that NEDLAC is brought in by law in terms of the NEDLAC Act, and it is governed in terms of its own constitution. Now, the constitution of NEDLAC is silent in as far as what the rules are, the requirements are for organised labour to become party to the council. What the constitution does do is that it allows organised labour, which in this case, if we look at SAFTU, FEDUSA and NECTA, to determine what the requirements should be should a party want to join the council. Unfortunately, we were not able to obtain these rules prior to tonight's interview, and it's quite interesting because when SAFTU themselves initially applied to become party to NEDLAC, they themselves, their request to become, for the membership forms and the rules were met by almost a month's worth of silence.
That's interesting, because you would think that for such a key institution, when it comes to proper negotiation and the participation of the different stakeholders in society and the social partners, that those things would be clear.
Yes, indeed. The rules should be publicly available, and as far as reports have it, SAFTU has lodged an application in terms of PIA to find out what the rules are. The only thing that we were able to establish is that in January of 2017, the Executive Council of NEDLAC approved amendments that were proposed by organised labour in terms of certain of the rules and some of those requirements for admission. Now, what we were able to establish is the need for audited financial statements, audited membership figures, as well as a requirement that a federation of trade unions must be in existence for 2 years, or at least 2 years. And on that basis alone, SAFTU
wouldn't qualify.
Yeah, they're excluded because they've only been effectively in operation for 1 year.
When you look at SAFTU's current size, I mean, they are obviously bringing in some unions that had already been in existence. They're talking about additional potential, an additional 30,000 members also being included under the umbrella federation. Is it a good idea to exclude such a strong constituency from NEDLAC?
I don't think it's a good idea to exclude them. And NEDLAC has repeatedly stated that it's not their intention to exclude SAFTU, and that these requirements were only brought into place in order to ensure that those who want to join NEDLAC are genuine and legitimate organisations. But if you look at SAFTU, despite being newly formed or a very young federation of trade unions, they are the second largest.
Yeah.
Their membership, so to speak, is more than that of FEDUSA and NECTA combined. So it could only be the benefit of NEDLAC and organised business and communities that are organised and represented at NEDLAC to have such a federation be party to NEDLAC itself.
But also the unions that form part of SAFTU, it's not like they are all completely new. Many are breakaways from the broader COSATU movement, aren't they?
Definitely, yeah. And that's where the whole argument comes in. I think the federations or organised labour that are party to NEDLAC at this point in time is just concerned as to whether or not to protect the sustainability of NEDLAC and the integrity of the council. These requirements have been established just to make sure that SAFTU will be in place or, behave should they be allowed to join the council.
Why is NEDLAC membership so important?
I think it's critical. NEDLAC was ultimately established as a vehicle for government, for organised business, organised labour and communities to play a key role in as far as economic growth is concerned and engaging in social dialogue regarding economic matters relating to economic developments and labour. They also play an integral part in as far as policy and lawmaking processes is concerned, and they ultimately seek to complement Parliament in as far as Parliament's policy and lawmaking processes is concerned.
We'll leave it there. Thanks for your time today. Tertius Wessels is Legal Director at Strategy Labour Solutions.